When I was a child, my family would often take the 1.5-hour road trip from Albuquerque to Santa Rosa to visit relatives. My fondest memories were of our fishing excursions to the many lakes, creeks, and up and down the Pecos River. The most adventurous was when we went to Catfish Falls, some 7 miles north from Santa Rosa on the south end of the horseshoe bend of the Pecos River. Here we would spend the whole day swimming and fishing and sometimes catch large yellow-belly catfish. These memories, as the years pass by, are drowned with the passing of time, just as the actual place was flooded over in 1981 by the damming of the Pecos River to fill the Santa Rosa Lake. Several decades later, while researching the early history of Santa Rosa, I came across a very intriguing article about an archaeological site near Catfish Falls that was excavated before the construction of the Santa Rosa Dam. Headline: Trading Post of the 1700s Uncovered. Santa Rosa News. Thursday, October 18th, 1979. The caption under the aerial photograph reads, Site 48, just 7 miles north of Santa Rosa, has been under investigation for the past 3 years by archaeologist Albert Ward of the Center for Anthropological Studies out of Albuquerque, under contract with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This aerial photograph reveals the remains of what was probably a trading post. The village is believed to have been occupied during the mid to late 1700s and is one of the earliest known non-Indian habitations in the eastern plains. The village probably housed some 200 persons. The article also mentioned that there were over 100 hornos and several torreones or defensive towers, and that the village was a colonial trading center for Hispanic, Pueblo, and Comanche people. This was an amazing discovery, and I began to wonder why is there no reference to this village elsewhere. The newspaper article mentioned that local men were hired as laborers to work on the excavation. I noticed that Larry Apolaca, my relative, was listed as one of them. In a recent visit to Santa Rosa, I asked him if he worked on this project and showed him a copy of the article. Here is what he had to say.
This man, he came from, I don't know from where, I don't know, from out of state, and I don't know if the state or archaeology funds or something paid him like a lot of money to excavate over there.
Oh.
So he started hiring people, Ahina, from Santa Rosa, Ahina, and all, like a whole bunch of us there. And we build we're just building like a place, all this, we're building it,
Building it?
Yeah,
Oh.
it wasn't there. And just to pull the people that they were excavating over there, Ahina, for artifacts y todo, and it went on and on until later on they found out que it wasn't, there was really nothing there. It was just like a scam. He had like Ahina, like tools, Ahina, it was como like an act, like como Ahina, como we were excavating and Ahina y todo. Pero all that was built, Ahina nomás, Ahina, exactly the way it's right there. And then después, it was gone, when they building the dam y todo and all that, it was like nothing. Never found nothing there. Nothing was displayed or showed to the people or nada nomás. It just showed, put it in the newspaper and all that, and that's all it was. I don't know with who you can investigate this, but it happened. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Pero no había nada. There was nothing there. I mean, nosotros we like me, I know all that country there y todo. We used to go when we were kids y todo. And it was just an area that was Ahina nomás open, Ahina. And ya está todo underwater now,
Yeah.
But no, this man, he made he was a scammer. Hizo dinero nomás, and yeah. And parecía real, Están haciendo bloquecitos asina, and little blocks ahina, and making like a little walls ahina, and and all that. Yeah, remember this?
After doing further research, I found out that Site 48 was one of the most controversial archaeological excavations in New Mexico. Because of various complaints as to the authenticity of the site, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers contracted a second study through the Office of Contract Archaeology at the University of New Mexico. This study scrutinized the original excavation data and did its own excavation of walls and structures of the site before the area was inundated. It concluded that the site was not a colonial trading post, nor was it largely populated, but rather it was a 17th century Indian campsite and later used as a 20th century homestead. It does not explicitly say that the site was a fraud or scam, but it does categorically reject the first study. As far as the many adobe walls and structures photographed as evidence of the large village, the report said that the site contained unexplained recent source for the majority of the purported adobe walls. The overall conclusion was that the majority of the walls were not constructed of adobe, but rather were sculpted on site. My uncle Larry Apulaca gives credence that knowledge and memory reside with the people, con la gente. Even though the Site 48 controversy, along with Catfish Falls, is water under the bridge now, we may want to pay attention to the dicho, saber es acordarse. Knowledge is gained by remembering.